Are you here to listen to El Numero Uno? Or are you here to listen to the American Kaiju? From the land of the rising sun, you're listening to the Osaka Saint, the Saitama Superstar, the Mad Titan of Tokyo, the American Kaiju. Welcome to the Hogscast Red and Black. Welcome back, Hogspack, to another jam-packed episode of the Hogscast Red and Black. Today is a very special episode, as you're aware. This is the first ever, the inaugural Hoggie Awards. Welcome and thank you very much. As you know, we have several categories. Many people enter, but only one can walk away with the Golden Hog. NPA, Adam, don't care how your weekend was. I'm not going to ask. Big Dude couldn't make it, and Mike said he was having Zoom issues, but he'll be joining us a little bit later on. Is that right?
Yeah. I'm glad you didn't ask me how my weekend was, but you made me wear this stupid fucking shirt and this tie.
Actually, I didn't make you wear the stupid shirt. I hope you're watching.
Yeah, go ahead and tell all the viewers that you didn't, and we'll ignore the 70 emails and the 30 texts about make sure you look good for the podcast.
Well, I mean, I think you looking good that was just in general. It was just make sure you look good.
Yeah.
Also, we have a podcast to record.
That is something that a lot of people tell me often. Make sure you look good, and usually they are not happy with the results.
They're not happy with the results. That's true. I've always recommended meditation to help with that. You know, sometimes it's internal that you have to deal with, not necessarily external.
Meditation is the sincerest form of flattery.
That's what I've heard. Never meditated, but my
only duplicated.
Only duplicated. That's true. There has been two other American Kaijus, which is odd.
Yes.
Which I thought was a unique name when I chose it, and then it was so unique that two other people thought that they were unique little snowflake flowers as well. And here we are, 3 American Kaijus. Well, only 2 now, I think, right?
I believe so.
Okay, unless you're counting Marvel. Then we're up to 3 because Marvel, you know about this, right?
I don't know.
Okay. I came out with the American Kaiju on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. Shortly thereafter, I want to say like 3 weeks after we filmed the episode, Marvel came out with a new Avengers or something. And they had a character called the American Kaiju, which is just Godzilla with an American flag on its chest. It was terrible.
Marvel's always ahead of the curve, you know?
That's true. They are always ahead of the curve. They actually wrestled for DDT before I did as well. So kudos to them. Excuse me. I was very excited. I was screaming at the top of my lungs, Hoggies, on my way over to the microphone. So my voice is a little out of it. Actually, I am a little bit out of it right now. Do you want to know why?
You're going to tell me anyway. So
I am going to tell you anyway. Adam, when's the last time you overindulged in something terrible for you?
Sunday.
What did you overindulge in?
Alcohol.
Wait, alcohol. Okay, well, is that why you had a bad weekend?
I didn't have a bad weekend.
Okay, I didn't ask about your weekend. I'm just making sure. Just want to make sure we're on the same page. How about food-wise? Like, it was the Super Bowl. I had too many nachos or too much whatever.
Asking a fat guy if they've ever overindulged in food is like an oxymoron. Yes, I've overindulged in food pretty recently.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure I wasn't the only one here. Yeah. I bought at the store circus cookies. They're the frosted pink and white,
yes,
like animal crackers, essentially with little sprinkles on them because my daughter likes them. And I opened the bag, a large bag, and ate a handful because that's what you do. They're small. You have to eat a handful. Did my stuff, cleaned up a little bit, came back later, grabbed another handful. Throughout the day, there was several handfuls, and I feel sick to my stomach. I haven't felt this sick in the longest time. So I feel like I'm probably going to throw up all over the screen. It's excitement. It's because of the Hoggies, not the,
I told everyone to watch this episode on YouTube today, so I'm really hoping you don't throw up because that would.
I did hear that. I heard Mike's, on Hogscast OG doing his best to put me over for the episode. I don't know what most over means, he said, and a few other things. He was very excited about it. I'm glad this is one that we didn't do together. I can see this of going very well with Mike. Mike is notorious for enjoying all of my ideas.
Do you think Mike would have worn a suit like this?
I do. I think Mike is a suit wearer. I think that's what he said. I like to wear suits.
I don't think so.
I think he did. Before we go into the awards, you brought this up. You texted me. I had no idea. Gina Carano got canceled from The Mandalorian.
Yeah, she posted some stuff. I think yesterday. I don't. To be completely honest, I don't pay attention to this shit. I don't really look into this stuff. The stuff people say on social media, because what's the point? Like, at some point, everyone has said something dumb on social media. But she posted a couple of anti-Semitic things, I think, or something to that effect, and yeah, she's been removed from the show.
Was it legit?
Mandalorian.
Did she say some legit stuff?
Like I said, I don't really follow it, but some of the things I'd seen, I'm not sure if she had posted this, but there's a meme going around that's like comparing canceling people based off their political beliefs, comparing that to like Jews in Nazi Germany. And I felt like a lot of people who have been sharing that, like that's a really tasteless thing to share.
Yeah.
And I think she shared one of those memes, and there was some other thing she shared. But it was enough for, Disney and Jon Favreau to be like, see ya.
Adam, I've got a question for you. You're, as we all know, you are Conrad Thompson Light. Who booked this shit?
Who booked what?
Who booked this shit? She had an awesome character. It was great for the show. She got called out for plugging away online, saying terrible things, and then it just keeps going and going. She got canceled. I thought like a couple months ago, I saw this. People were trying to cancel her. I'm like, oh, just stop. Just stop. You can't cancel everyone. But I didn't see the most recent things.
Well, that's exactly the point. So if you're a celebrity at this point and you're posting stuff that's getting you in trouble, you have to stop, because now you're the target. And the second you do something that's just too far to certain people, you're going to be gone. They're going to get rid of you. So she should have been a little smarter. Like you said, she's in a good position, but she made so much money in MMA and a couple of movies she did. I doubt she gives a shit about getting canceled from this show.
I don't know. I think that's got to sting a little bit. That's just me.
I mean, getting fired from anything is never going to be good. You're never going to feel good about that. But like,
by the way, if you're not watching the YouTube channel, you should, because Adam right now looks like he's about to call a 1996 Raw's War. Looks phenomenal in his suit, and he's got the headset on. It looks great. I really appreciate that. Thank you for showing up today. I really, that means a lot. That goes a long way when it comes to, voting for things like best producer.
Yeah. The check's in the mail.
Checks in the mail. Let's get started then. Let's get started with the
That's all you want to talk about was Gina Carano?
That's it. That was the one thing. This is the award show. I don't give a shit about anything else, but I just wanted to.
Someone else got an award this weekend. You don't want to talk about them at all?
Who got an award?
I don't know. Tom
Brady. Yeah, Tom Brady. He's the GOAT. There's nothing else to say on top of that. He's the best. Best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. You got to bring it back to wrestling. The only thing I'd like to see is him versus Bret Hart. That's all I want to know. I think Bret's got a solid arm. He's got a good feel for the defense. So
he's a pretty good guy.
He is a pretty good guy. He's a pretty good guy. Actually, that was Teddy's line, wasn't it?
They're all the same.
That's what I was gonna say. On the podcast yesterday, Mike was like, "Oh, why is Hopkins in there as best non-hog?" He's one of the only other guys that we've had who's sat in on 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 episodes. Hops has been there for a while. He might not talk much, but Hops is on there.
That's true. Let's
get started with the awards. Do you have something you play, some kind of drum roll or anything like that?
Sure.
I'm assuming I'm in my head. I'm like, okay, it's playing now. And then also I know that you're probably not going to play anything. And it's just me explaining that you're going to play it.
There might be a drum roll. There might not be. You're going to find out.
All right.
Because I know you listen back and watch this every week, right, Devin?
Oh, I do. Absolutely. I saw the rib on me and the rib on you and the rib on Mike, and I don't watch it. I listen to it. I listen to it in podcast form. But you should be watching. Let's get started. Best story. Can we start with best story?
We can.
Okay. That's what the podcast is all about. Started off talking about road stories. Mike shitting his pants. That's what kicked things off. People were talking about people shitting their pants all the time. Best stories that we had included Mike shitting his pants, Mike Cabana story. We had 2 from Yuma. We had him getting the Steenalizer from Kevin Steen through the ring, which was incredible to see live. And then we also had him when he was under the hood as one of the One Direction. What's his name? Harry Styles?
Harry Styles. You don't know who Harry Styles is?
I think he's
He was in
famous
a
guy.
Christopher Nolan movie.
Was he really?
He was in Dunkirk.
I never saw Dunkirk.
Oh.
Okay. That explains it. Yeah, but he went under the hood pretending to be Harry Styles at a One Direction concert and wrestled Kurt Angle.
I wish Kurt Angle would have beat up Harry Styles. He broke up the marriage of Jason Sudeikis and Olivia Wilde. So
Did he really?
Yeah.
Are you talking about it in a movie?
no, I'm talking about in real life.
How did he do that?
Olivia Wilde and Harry Styles are together now, and Jason Sudeikis and Olivia Wilde are not. So
Listen, Adam, I'm not the smartest guy in the world. You're going to have to explain this shit to me.
Olivia Wilde and Harry Styles did a movie together or something, and now she's not with Jason Sudeikis anymore, and she's been seen with Harry Styles. So
But that's the movie, so it's fake.
nope, it's still real to me, damn it.
All right.
No, it's 100% true though. So
Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. I like Sudeikis.
yeah, I knew last week you didn't know who Harry Styles was because you made that Harry Styles and you nodded your head, and I'm like, he has no idea what I'm talking about.
To me, this group, One Direction, they're the Jonas Brothers to me. They're all the same. I'm like, Jonas Brothers and One Direction, probably the same band, if I had to guess.
Yes.
Am I correct in saying that?
Yes, Jonas Direction. Yep.
Jonas Direction. All right. Maybe there's a drum roll now. Adam, can you tell us who the winner is?
The winner is Yuma for his story about taking the Steenalizer. And now it's here to accept his award. Yuma.
Hey, what's up, Hogsman podcast fans? It's your favorite intergalactic professional wrestler, Yuma, and I am so proud to be one of the winners of the first ever, the inaugural Hoggie Awards. I am so stoked to have won one of the Hoggies. Thank you guys for voting for me for winning Best Story. My harrowing tale of taking the Steenalizer from WWE superstar Kevin Owens after my first victory in PWG, and pretty much thinking I was dead, and everyone else thinking I was dead too. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed that scary and funny story, and I'm happy I survived so I could continue to get hurt for years to come for you to enjoy. So Devin and Mike got a little cheap on me, but I'll take it. I had Albie draw a Hoggie for me. So thank you guys for voting for me, and I can't wait to be back on the podcast to tell more great stories.
And that was Yuma accepting his award for Best Story.
Fantastic. Best story. Even right there in his acceptance speech, you could tell he's a great storyteller. And no, Yuma, I saw that you had the little, the little drawing there. Thank you, LB, for that. But your golden hog is in the mail. Thank you very much for participating. How was the voting on that? Was it even close?
I believe he had 50% of the vote on Twitter. So I don't think it was very close. No.
We didn't have any votes on Instagram on that?
I could check for you.
I don't care that much. He won. I know he won, but I just saw it on. I saw it all on Twitter. And so, why did some of those polls go down early?
Because you told me on Saturday to do it.
Oh, wow.
Finally gave me the information I asked for 3 days before.
By the way, your audio just did a weird thing, but I gave you the. It might be the microphone close to your mouth, the way you tilted your head there, but it might be the reason I gave it to you on Saturday. I wanted to let it breathe. We let the shirts out. We released the shirts. I wanted to give people time to find the shirts. ProWrestlingTees.com/thehogsman for 4 or 5 new different shirts. So that's why I gave it to you on Saturday. It had nothing to do with me being behind or lazy. Had nothing to do with me being incompetent. Any of those things. Just had to do with letting the shirt sales breathe.
You definitely couldn't have just said, "Hey, here's the information. Don't post it till Saturday."
I couldn't have said that. You know why? Because that's the producer's job to stay on top of that. Speaking of producers, the Hoggie Award for Best Producer. Now, we had three nominees. We had the incomparable El Numero Uno, Mike Camden, who this whole show was his idea. He set it up. He did the first 2 or 3 episodes. And then we had Ted Woods come in, who would be the second nominee. And then very late into the process, by late, I mean only several months in, NPA Adam, the guy you're listening to, or the guy you're watching, if you're on the YouTube channel, took over as he's not quite the producer. Not quite the producer. He's not producer Adam. Those are the nominees. We had Ted Woods, we had Mike Camden, and we had Mr. NPA. Adam, can you read some of the comments from the Instagram?
Oh, yeah. I would love to read some of the comments from Instagram. So, it's always nice when you've been doing something for 40 plus episodes, busting your ass, doing all this stuff, working hard, something you're kind of just understanding and learning. And then a poll goes up about if you're a good producer at all. And some of the responses are, let's go, Petey, Teddy Woods, baby. Hey, Petey, where were you this week on the questions? You didn't ask any stupid fucking questions this week. That's weird. SoCal Gabe, definitely Ted. Definitely Ted. Couldn't just say Ted. Had to say definitely Ted. Thanks, Gabe. Where were your questions been for the last 5 to 6 episodes? Ted, Gabe actually asked good questions, so it is kind of annoying that Gabe doesn't ask a lot of questions. Mixed Mutt said, I would say Adam, but he's an NPA, so it's got to be Ted. Mixed Mutt will now go to the top of the line for all questions because he's doing the gimmick. And Bimbo Jimbo said, that's got to be Ted. So thank you all for the big morale boost this weekend, as I took a lot of time to put these things together, these pictures and things I posted, only for you to just be like, hey, fuck you, buddy.
Well, as you know, you are a very humble man, and you're very generous with your time.
Yeah.
I know that you don't hold grudges whatsoever.
Nope.
So when we talk about Best Producer, it's based on merit only. Adam, can you hit the drum roll, please?
It's playing, probably.
Let me know when it's done.
It's done when you announce the winner.
And the winner for Best Producer and the inaugural Hoggie Awards goes to not producer Adam. Adam, give yourself a big round of applause, a big pat on the back. Thank you for keeping us afloat. When Ted was no longer able to do the podcast, Adam came in, did a kick-ass job, helped us with absolutely everything, took over the social media channels, helped us out on YouTube. We're finally getting the YouTube. You can see this. You can watch this live on YouTube right now. Not live, but you can sit there and watch this on YouTube. And is going to be helping us get some more guests on from, the East Coast, other territories, folks that you'd like to hear talk about their time on the road, since, Mike and I can't really go anywhere right now in California. So thank you, Adam, for everything you've done. Your Hoggie, as you know, the Golden Hog is in the mail.
I actually just got it earlier today.
You got the Golden Hog?
Yeah, so this wasn't even a surprise. I already knew I won.
Oh, fantastic. Do you want to give us a speech?
No.
Okay.
I've enjoyed doing this with you and with
Thanks.
Mike. It's something I actually enjoy doing. I'm learning it every week. Sometimes I overanalyze the audio and how it sounds, and then I tweak it, and then the next week it sounds different. And I hate myself for tweaking it even more. But with this, that's not difficult. With this, it's the hours of embedding a video and dealing with all that. But I still enjoy doing it.
In other words, very easy, not difficult, not time consuming.
Oh, it's time consuming.
Well, no, not even.
That's why when someone says definitely Ted, I get a little upset about it. Because Ted is very good at this. So for Ted, this probably didn't take a lot of his time.
Well, Ted is he went to school for it. I think he got his degree in it.
I know.
He's on like the Nat Geo. He's producing the Nat Geo podcast with what's his name? Ian Malcolm. What's his name? Who am I thinking of?
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum. There you go.
Yeah.
And a couple other pretty popular podcasts. He's actually, the exposure bucks we were paying him wasn't working. So your exposure bucks are.
I wish I could do a podcast with Jeff Goldblum. That'd be great.
You can. I'll talk to him. I'll let him know that you're a big fan of The Fly and you'd like to do some.
No,
don't tell him that.
No.
Okay.
That movie gives me the heebie-jeebies. No, sir.
Actually, I like that movie for one reason. I was a massive Ninja Turtle fan when I was a kid. Are you familiar with the character Baxter Stockman?
Yeah, he was in Turtles in Time.
Was he?
I think so. Sounds familiar.
I thought, isn't Baxter Stockman, if I'm not mistaken, he's the guy who turns into a fly.
Yeah. You fight him in the first level on the bridge in Turtles in Time.
Ah, perfect. Fantastic.
You have to jump in there and kick him.
When you said Turtles in Time, I was thinking of Ninja Turtles 3.
No, I'm talking about the excellent arcade game.
The fantastic arcade game.
Yeah.
Very well. Okay,
perfect.
perfect.
My favorite arcade game of all time.
I agree with you.
Thank you, Devin. Thank you, Mike, for letting me do this, for letting me be a part of this, and hopefully it never ends.
Best story, best producer, and now best non-hog. So this is where we got a little bit of shit. Again, listened to the podcast yesterday with you and Mike. Didn't seem to understand best non-hog. Several people didn't understand best non-hog. Listen, on the show, we have guys sit in, they talk, they shoot the shit. They're not necessarily guests, but they were either on the road with us that weekend, wrestling on the same card as us, driving in the same car as us, or had some type of vested interest in the show or the training session that we just completed, and they would sit in on the podcast. This included Hunter, who for the longest time would sit in after training, again after shows, and was a voice on the podcast for, I'd probably say 10 episodes, maybe even more than that. B-Boy was someone who always sat in with us as well. It was his studio at Level Up. So obviously we had him on as, I think, twice as an actual guest, but other than that, you'd hear him all the time, drinking some pub beer, one of our sponsors, and just having a good time. And then lastly was Hopkins. So Hopkins was a guy that, again, would sit in on the show. He wouldn't always contribute, but sometimes he'd have a mic, or Mike would throw him a microphone and say, "What do you think, Hops?" So best non-hogs. They're contributors to the show that are not guests, and they're not hogsmen. Did we have a vote for that was online?
Yeah.
What did the people say, Adam?
I will take a look right now and let you know what the people said. So for best non-hog, as you said, it was Hop, Hunter, and B-Boy. And the vote on Twitter, we got 12 votes. It was 50-50 for B-Boy and Hunter. And then I will go to quickly the Instagram, and I will see what the vote there was. And it looks like it was, so we had 1, 2, 3 for Hunter, 1 for B-Boy, and 1 for Hop. So
the winner of best non-hog, and here to claim his award, is Hunter Freeman.
What's going on, everybody? SoCal's resident redneck, the backwoods brawler, Hunter Freeman, and I just want to say thank you to all the listeners to the Hogsman podcast for voting me as the best non-hog. And I tell you what, I had some stiff competition between B-Boy and Michael Hopkins, player 1, but I guess you guys just like me more. I don't know what it is. So the real question is being I am voted the best non-hog, does that mean I get a give me, does that mean I'm a hogsman now? I don't know. I think you guys should let Mike Camden and Devin Sparks know, but hey, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you. Can't wait to see you guys whenever we're finally out of this pandemic and we're able to have some shows. Love you guys. Take it easy.
Thank you, Hunter. Congratulations on the award. Obviously, the Golden Hog is in the mail. And you bring up a good point. Hunter, should you be the next hogsman? Listen, there's 3 hogsmen, okay? And that's enough. 3 hogsmen is enough. I'm sure you've heard of Three's Company, okay? There's a lot of things that triangles, half the time they don't even want to be triangles. They just want to be a straight line and someone throws another dot in there. It's kind of fucking pointless. The point is, you have to, it's not something you can ask to be. You can't ask the people to ask us to make you a hog. You have to be, you just have to become a hog. And you were on your way there. And then I don't know, the wheels fell off, Hunter. So make 2021 about becoming a hog, and next year maybe you'll be nominated for best hog. Who knows? I know the answer is no, but just to keep you motivated, maybe I'm gonna dangle that carrot for you.
Yeah, and you should also know that the last 2 weeks Hunter was supposed to sit on the Hogscast OG and he did not show up. So
Wow,
not looking good for his prospects for 2021 either.
wow. Yeah, no, okay, never mind. In fact, actually, can you erase that from the episode? Can you delete his video?
Yeah, sure.
Fantastic. Don't even show it on YouTube. Put a I don't know, a filter on it, cat filter or something.
Can I just
Bunny
put like
filter.
a Duke the Dumpster Drosy squash match or something?
You can do that, yeah. And then we'll come back and act like let's do that. When this is over, we'll record talking about Duke the Dumpster Drosy, and we'll do that. Perfect. Anyway, thank you, Hunter, for all your contributions. I know the people liked you and wanted you to be a hog. It's just not happening. We are going to move on, though. You weren't a guest ever. We did have plenty of guests this year on the podcast. Guests included Yuma, who received an award already. We did have B-Boy in as a guest. We had Heather Monroe, the first lady of the Hogsman podcast. We had Hammerstone on. Who else did we have, Adam?
Oh, Cannon.
Carlo Cannon.
Yeah.
I think he was our first. I think he was our first Zoom call. We had him all the way in from Australia. He had just finished up his tour in Malaysia.
We also have to address the elephant in the room.
Oh God!
You omitted Destro.
Yeah,
Chris
here's why. Here's why I omitted him. He did one episode with us. And he did one with Mike. And I wasn't able to make the one with Mike. So everyone else that we talked about.
2 with Mike.
He did 2 with Mike?
Yeah.
He's not allowed in.
Devin, you no-show the podcast a lot.
I don't know show. I've got a family. I've got mouths to feed. Okay.
Yeah.
Someone's got to open up that can of SpaghettiOs, and that's me. All right. That shit doesn't cook itself. Yeah, I did notice that we omitted him. But Carlo was one who's our first guest. I heard you guys talking about why were these people nominated for multiple different categories. Some were, some weren't. Carlo was our first ever Zoom call that we did right when the pandemic started. Mike and I said, should we even bother continuing with this shit? Or should we try to interview some of our friends and guys that we worked with throughout the business? So Carlo was the first one. Heather was a fantastic guest, just straight up as a guest on the show. Had a lot of great discussions. Half of it we couldn't even air because it's confidential information. So that was part of it. Just a great conversation. Dom obviously has been on the show 3 times now. Is there more that I don't know about, Adam? Has he been on? No. Okay. 3 times.
He's actually on this week on the special bonus OG episode.
God damn it.
I'm kidding. I'm
I
kidding. For anyone that goes looking for it, it's not real. I'm kidding.
But Dom has, cemented himself now as a WWE superstar. And he was on the show before it started. So that's awesome. Got to hang out with him, in training several times. Mike, helps train him as well. So it was just an awesome guest to have. B-Boy, switching roles from Non Hog and just someone hanging out to actually someone to pick his brain, someone who's been around the business for 20 plus years, someone who's wrestled absolutely everyone from just about every continent. So, these are the types of things that went into my mind where it's like, okay, there was reasons that they were nominated for best guest. And the reason that you asked why Hammerstone wasn't on there as best guest was the following.
Okay.
Hammerstone was not nominated for best guest because we had so many fucking technical issues during that podcast. I think his mic went out a couple times. We lost service that was glitchy as all hell. It was a very difficult podcast to do, and that's why he wasn't on there as best guest. I don't even know if the podcast was worth listening to because there were so many issues on it that go around. But that being said, Yuma, B-Boy, Dom, Heather Monroe, and Carlo Cannon were the nominees. Can we get a drum roll, Adam? And the winner of Best Guest goes to...
Hello again, Hogsman podcast listeners. It's again your favorite intergalactic professional wrestler, Yuma, and I have won another of the inaugural Hoggies. The inaugural Hoggies. Inaugurals. I'm going to keep saying that. Anyways, you guys voted for me as best guest, and that means a lot. I beat out some really, really cool people, and, thank you for the support. I haven't really gotten to do much in the world of pro wrestling in the past year, so the fact that you guys still remember me, still enjoy me, and even voted for me over the likes of B-Boy and Dominic Mysterio and Heather Monroe, I really appreciate it. Devin and Mike, thank you for having me on the podcast. Shout out to Chris Terry for kind of telling me I should. He said it was a fun time, and he was right, and I'm glad I did it. It was a lot of fun. I can't wait to be back. Once again, Devin and Mike didn't send me no trophies or even like a pork loin or anything, but now I've got this Hoggie, and I've got this one for Best Guest, so thank you to LB for giving me some kind of award to keep and cherish forever. So thank you again to all the Hogsman podcast listeners. Thank you again to Devin and Mike and all the wrestling fans around the world that still like looking at me and listening to me talk. I appreciate it, and again, I can't wait to be back on the podcast. Two-time, baby. Two-time.
Wow! Who saw that coming? Yuma was an absolutely fantastic guest. Every time we talked to him, had tons of stories. There was never dead air. Kept us laughing. I know Mike, who's Mike's personal favorite person to interview, myself as well. I only wish that we could talk to him in person and get him on the podcast when all this is over. Maybe bring him over to Level Up Studios after a show or something like that, and get him on the full podcast in person, because the guy just oozes energy. It's a fantastic person to be around. So Yuma is the first ever. He's our Owen Hart. He's got 2 Hoggie Awards. Thank you, Adam. Appreciate that.
I don't know what you wanted me to say there. Yes, Owen Hart had 2 Slammies once, but he actually didn't have 2 Slammies. He stole one,
but he carried them in his hands.
Carried them both, but one of them was not his.
Just like I know. Okay, well, are you saying this was stolen? Was someone else to put? Okay, just making sure.
No, I will say the vote was close for this one too, and it was basically broken by Yuma's mom.
I know, I saw that. Okay, let me ask you this: your mom tweets to you, or quote tweets you, Adam.
No.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know.
He had a great response. It was very kind about it.
I would say, Mom, I'm glad you're not tweeting about Trump.
Fantastic.
That's what I would say to my mom.
Well, that's fantastic.
And by that, I mean my mom is anti-Trump, so don't jump on my fucking coattails and be angry at me.
Now you're canceled. Congratulations. You made a political statement. Now you're canceled.
Yeah.
We've got 2 left on the list. Most over. This is where I think Mike was confused again. Very simple to me. Very simple. Confused. Mike was very confused?
I was very confused.
Oh, you were confused. Okay.
Mike was confused too.
Well, most over to me is the person on the podcast that, got the most likes, essentially. People liked them the most downloads, the most views, the most interaction online. The person that helped propel our podcast the most. Nominees for this included, Adam.
New Age Punisher, B-Boy, Yuma, Carlo Cannon, Dominic Mysterio, and Alexander Hammerstone.
Adam, this one wasn't close. This one, I think, was obvious. And by the way, because it was so obvious, I feel like the people understood what I was saying.
Or they had no clue, and that's why we only got like 4 people to vote for it.
The winner is, by a fucking landslide, Dominic Mysterio. And I believe Dom had something to say in accepting his Hoggie Award. Dom, the Golden Hog is in the mail. Take it away.
Thank you, Devin, and thank you, Mike, for giving me a hoagie for most over on the Hogsman podcast. Appreciate you guys, and hopefully we can do this again next year. Booyaka.
Fantastic. Slammy Award and a Hoggie Award.
Hogie Award.
A Hoggie. I'm sorry. A Hoggie Award. You know what? It's
I think Dominic thinks we're giving him a sandwich of some kind.
okay. Well, then maybe we can. Okay, let's pull back on the Golden Hog and let's just shoot him a sandwich.
Yeah. You think he likes Jersey Mike's?
I would assume so.
I've got a lot of Jersey Mike's points, so he won't have to pay much for the sandwich at all.
That's fantastic. How much do we owe him for cutting that promo for us?
$6.19.
Oh, I see what you did there. Well, that's too bad because we could have bought him a Jersey Mike's sandwich with that. Oh well, maybe next time.
Yeah, a small.
Yeah, small. When's the last time you had a small sandwich from Jersey Mike's?
Never,
Ever?
because it's like taking like one of those little cups that you used to get when at work for the water. That's how big the sandwich is, and you're like, no.
Yeah, it reminds me of that picture of Andre where he's holding a real beer, and it's just like a little teacup in the size of in his palm of his hand. Same thing. I don't know anyone that's ever ordered anything other than a regular at Jersey Mike's.
I order a giant, but then I parcel it into a couple of meals.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, Adam, have you ever overeaten?
I have.
This goes back. I'm tying it back into the beginning.
I know what you're doing.
Okay, just making sure. All right. So we've gone through the list so far. We've got best story, best producer, best non-hog, best guest, most over, and now the moment that you've all been waiting for. From the land of the rising sun to just north of the border, you had to choose your favorite hog between the American Kaiju and El Numero Uno. Who did they pick, Adam? Who did they pick? It was
Big Duke.
What?
Big Duke. Hit it.
Whoa. You know what? I'm getting sick and tired of this shit, and I'm gonna do something for myself. Yeah, that's right, Mike. That's right, Dev. I'm standing up to both of you guys. You know, I'm barely promoted on this show. All I hear every week is, Big Duke couldn't make it. Big Duke will be here next week. And all the guests, oh, where's Big Duke? Oh, where's Dan? Where's this? You know what? I'm tired of it. I've been a part of this group for a few years now, so it's about time that I get the recognition that I deserve. So that's why right now, I'm declaring myself the unanimous winner of the Best Hog Award. That's right, Dev. That's right, Mike. You guys are not winning this award. Little write-in ballot. Boom. I'm taking this award, and I'm going to display it on my mantle where it rightfully belongs. So when everyone comes into my house, that's the first thing they see. They go, ooh, Big Duke, he got the best hog. Sorry, boys, your time is up. And just like John Cena says, my time is now.
Like what?
That was bullshit. He wasn't even an option. How did he win?
Oh, I don't know if you noticed this last week, but when you were announcing the nominees for Best Hog,
Yeah.
I kind of noticed that you had left him out. So I shot him a text, let him know what was going on.
Cool, man.
He sent me
Cool,
something.
man. Super cool. Big Duke winning Best Hog. Fantastic. And the first ever. So that means I've got 2 more years to try to win this fucking thing. That's terrible. All right, now Hunter's definitely not going to make it in because I don't want any more competition. Sweet. Well, that was Big Duke. You heard it, I think yesterday on Hogsman OG. He is going to start having his own new podcast as well. If you like what you hear from Mike and myself, and you have only heard Duke from his intros, give him a listen. I don't know when he's starting up. I think it's going to be in the next couple of weeks here. But what is it? It's Last Word with Big Duke or Last Word with Duke, something like that.
Something like that.
Something like that. Go check it out when it comes on. Duke, fuck you for interrupting the show and stealing my award.
For all I know, I'm going to be on that podcast too.
Yes, that's right. Conrad Jr. might be helping out Big Duke on his as well. That's it. Those are the awards for the first annual Hoggies. All of the golden hogs are in the mail. Thank you. We should all give ourselves a round of applause. Is there anything else we left out this week, Adam? Anything at all?
I don't think so. I think you covered pretty much everything.
Covered everything. Fantastic. Well, I'm going to go to bed pissed off. Everyone else, I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you enjoyed a little trip down memory lane. And please join us again next week where we start talking about current shit again instead of patting our own backs. But
maybe we'll have a guest.
Maybe we'll have a guest. That's right. By the way, did anyone mention if they wanted any of these guys that we talked about from the East Coast or some of these bigger companies or no?
No.
Well, then I
Not
guess we
yet.
won't have a guest. We won't have a guest. You know who we should interview? Someone that everyone really likes. Let's get Ted on. Me and you and Ted on the next episode of the Hogscast Red and Black. Adam, if they want the tip, what do they have to do? Sayonara. We'll see you next week.